to my channel. My name is Priscilla Phillips. However, I go by the name Lord, so aka Lord. And video, on today's video, is that way correct English? On today's video, I'll be in today's video, in today's video, I will be discussing about navigating myself, navigating life, and just life as someone who is autistic, and the challenges, and I'll be talking about the challenges that I'm just like I have like a list of things that I want to talk about really. And something happened today in my training, in my coding class. Not today, okay, a day before. And I was just troubled. I was troubled about the situation, but not like big trouble, but there's a way I get my own, there's a way my feeling signals me when something is not cool with me. But while that is going on, I was also triggered. But because I've over time learned how to regulate myself, regulate my triggers, it doesn't show. The other day at this new fantastic creative space, I met the creative. I met the director of the place, and I was like, "Oh, I'm autistic." I just made mention about it. We're talking, and she's like, "Oh, I don't." She would never have guessed that I was autistic. I'm like, "Yes, because I am not the everyday or stereotyped um, look of what an autistic person look like, right?" Um, and in the recent past, I have been doing like research around it. We have high frequency, low frequency agents. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. They have like a name, like a clinical name for the various type. I am like on the high frequency type, right? So, however, I still feel all sorry. However, I still feel all the triggers. I still get seizures. Um, yeah, I still get triggered when a situation. Um, I still get triggered by situations. I still get triggered by noise, loud noise. Noise irritates me generally. This is why I said I prefer introverts. And of course, there are some introverts that talk a lot, but this is why I would never have anything to do with an extrovert, not even an ambivert, because I'm enough ambivert for myself. You understand? I'm enough ambivert, so I would never have all this loud, aggressive kind of people around me, because you sap energy. A lot of these extroverts don't have their own inner energy. They have to plug on all the other things. Anyhow, so I was just observing my triggers. Even the day before that, I was talking to myself. Something happened. I was watching something. I was sometimes I do it, then I start peeling my finger, like my flesh. I'm like, I caught myself in between it. I'm like, Priscilla, you're triggered. You've been triggered. I said, yes. You're thinking about that thing. You're triggered. I said, yes. And then my inner being was explaining certain things to me. And I'm like, I felt calm about it. Like, yes, it's true. That makes it easier. So it can be anything. It can be any flimsy thing that would trigger me, right? But again, I don't even know if I want to use the word regulated myself enough, or I have been able to just max them. It's both. Let me just say both. But I have regulated myself because I've been aware of myself from 6 months old, right? Yeah. I know I'm psychotic. I'm a psycho one. Yes, yes, I'm actually am, right? My character placement puts me in that place. Have I done tests? No. I know the character placement that comes with different type of neurology. I just know these things, right? This is how you know, because we know things. Anyways, um, and so I couldn't concentrate on the assignment giving because I was triggered. And in that moment, it just came to my mind that now I can relate in this experience why um what happens mentally, why um why environmental safety and security is very important, specifically as an autistic person. Based on what happened, I brought it to the attention of the owner of the play or this of the training space, and he looked into it. The person did well, I guess, did some adjustments. So I appreciate that. However, I was just observing myself, which is what I do a lot of the time. When things happen, I just analyze my own behavior. What happened? What led to what this equals to that? What could have been done better? What does this mean? What does this mean? Because initially I wanted to like shrug it off, and then I was pissed. I was just, again, like I said, I have over time worked on my emotional regulation. Now you have to know the difference. You're repressing your emotions or you're working on it. Somebody said something one time on my Facebook account before it was hacked. He said something. He's a Pisces man, and he said, if you have to stop every time to feel your feelings, then there'll be a lot of stops. And from his perspective, he was just pointing at, you don't have to stop every time to feel your feeling. Move, like. And as much as I agree with him, it is also subjective to who the person is. For me, I am somebody who I don't play with my emotions. I do not play with my emotions. This is why I can walk out on anything in this life. This is why money does not rule me. Sex does not rule me. Relationship, friendship, any kind of the relationship does not rule me. Why? Because I'm enough for myself. And thank goodness to my soul retreat that I now added on top of it. So the moment the moment something is off, I get an alert inside of me, no matter how small it is. And I am somebody, when I get back home, I always reflect on the situation. So I am not somebody that reacts immediately. I am a slow burn, so I take my time. That's why I beg people. I'm the one begging people, like, please do not bring your trouble or your traumas or whatever you have or your wars going on within you to me. Because me, I know they find person. I know they find person go, I know they find person going anywhere. Now people they find me come. Do you understand? So before you hear or find me offend somebody, you rare. And it's usually pure mistake. Immediately, I know they waste time. I adjust, take accountability, and adjust. Amend myself with that person immediately. And then I check myself, is my behavior or my person or patterns of behavior suiting for that space, or does the space suit me? Any one of it, I would have to reflect. And if it's not, I remove myself. That is one thing I know how to do, and I see that a lot with I haven't met so many, or well, I have seen so many autistic people, but I haven't had a close-up encounter with a lot of them. Aside um, the 8-year old I had like 3 years ago now, and this is how many years away from that situation, and I'm not like source. I already know why you asked, because it was an instruction I followed, like that voice, like go to Suzu person's house, do not leave her house until she asks you to leave. And me, I'm like, at first now, like, that's my ego, like, why would you ask me to go to someone's house? Of all person, woman, of all person, like, like, please, I don't want anybody who like, you can't get children enjoy. I don't want to. People and their, you know me now. People that have, what if I don't like her parenting values? What if this, it's not supposed to be my business, but I'm going to be itchy? Things like that trigger me. This is why I don't like having, for me to even like another human being. It's me, even me myself, I used to give Thanksgiving. So how much more going to your space and staying there? It's not something of a joy. I love my space. I love to be with myself. So I was just basically observing all of these things, because where I am in my self-development is self-parenting. I'm self-parenting myself through a lot of things. And I almost I almost cried. I cried some days ago. I'm like, that self-empathy and self compassion I was giving to myself, like, this is self-pity. Like, I'm not like, no, it's not self-pity. I need to feel this feeling of I need to feel this feeling of lacking a lot of emotional support that I should have had as later on in my childhood, like 8 years to 16 years, and this period of time, which is 8 plus 8, 16, right? Which is this exact period of years I stayed in my foster space, or foster home, as I like to call it. A lot of mishandling happened because, one, I am a special need person, but I am not their child. Who gives a two fuck if I'm special need or not? Who gives a two, like, a lot of different layers of um lack of love that would have, that at least on a basic level. Me, I'm not asking for anything. I'm not asking for action movie love. I'm just asking for, I don't know, maybe a test by moonlight type of love. Oh, I miss test by moonlight, by the way. And I was just like reflecting a lot of things, and I said, Priscilla, take this up, send a text message to this person and bring it to their attention. And I personally understand leadership hurricane. So instead of taking it with the person that made the situation, I took it to the owner of the place, and I said, this is what happened, and he got back to me later in the next day that, oh, he's looked into it. um he said, thank you very much, I've looked into it, I've spoken to him, it's okay, thank you so much. In his last line, when he responded, he said, oh, my advice is, something like try and adjust and something, so that you can have a brighter future. And I responded back, thank you very much, that, for looking into this. However, a safe and secured emotional learning space is my bright future. You understand? I do not intend negotiating it for anything. This is why I'm not somebody who is obsessed about scaling up. I am only doing this training because it's something I've always wanted. I perceive myself as some lord of technology. aside the fact that I'm a Gemini, so like technology is my space normally. And when I follow my personal history, I see that when LinkedIn launched, when Facebook launched, when Twitter launched, when all of this, like, and different other platforms, when they first launched, I don't know how it happens. It always comes to me. Bam. Do you understand? It always comes to me. So I've observed that about myself. Like I pull technology, I pull, and there are a lot of tech spaces that I pioneered with my in terms of public relation that served them. So yeah. However, when this situation happened, it made me lose focus on any other thing. I was just the only thing I was thinking about was the situation, and just thinking about it now is like, like I'm just trying to hold myself back. So sometimes when an autistic person is holding themselves back, or something is triggering them, or they're remembering something, seizure. Like for me, I seizure. Is it seizure, or what's the other word for it? When I remember, I'll say it. And so a lot of the time, after that whole vibration and everything, you're weak. And so in this lady's space that had an 8-year-old autistic child at the time, when I went there, immediately I saw the child, like, okay, so this is why you brought me here. I said, just chill. Don't be too ahead of yourself. Relax. I said, okay. And one of the things I went there, that later jumped into my heart, into my spirit, like, I'm gonna heal this child. And then I questioned myself, what do you mean I'm gonna heal this child? There's nothing fucking wrong with this child. It's just fucking autistic, yo. And I'm like, yeah, but he is traumatized. The child was traumatized at the time, and so you could see it in the in his body. And when I heard the story behind it, well, the somehow story that led to that the child fell from staircase, kinikon, that. I'm like, okay. And so I could relate to that, because 3 years before then, before I took my soul retreat to Ghana, when I was instructed to go to Ghana, and it wasn't an instruction like, you now go, it was an instruction that leave, like, everything, leave it and be going. I say, I beg goodness. I had two options. I had my mother's village to go to, or I had Ghana. Let me go to Ghana before I'll kill somebody. Because this temper that people have been wanting me since to be learning, I've been doing my bit too, but I don't know the parts, the level I have. I don't know my level of authority yet in that place. I will keep person. Now make me know school for East specifically, because there is no amount of threat you want to threaten me with, cultists and the rest, everything. That devil way to say you get, I will tell you, say my papa and mama, your babalawos and the rest, they worship where they come from. You understand? And if you are going to speak to a water, my mother will be consulted by any level of dibia. So I don't, as I'm here like this, I'm still, you see, my spiritual journey in my eyes is still a baby journey. So let me be, this is the only place I can agree to be humble. Anything aside that, see, I'll give you fire, I'll give you brimstone for whatever level you want to come with. I am just what? Taming myself in my own type of humility that I can. So I not go to the East though. Is the specific reason why I schooled in University of Jos with the program I did. And so I said, okay, I'll go to Ghana. Ghana is laid back. I've been there 1 or 2 times, so I'll go to Ghana. And then, so before I went, that whole period of decision, man, there's one particular day, I was, as in my whole body was soaked. This is where I knew, fear. There's a way you be filled with terror and fear. You look as if you had your bath, or you were drenched by a rain. That very day, one of the, I think it was the 3rd day or 4th day, I almost had stroke. And that's one of the things that got my that my father had before he died. Stroke, bad stroke. It started running him mental. Stroke that came from diabetes. So the experience was crazy. So why am I saying this? My inner being brought that memory back to me and said, remember this? It's because I was trying to draw the dots. How true is the story? How this is because women, their assumption, I've seen me. I used to boast my chest before. I say, when a new woman comes and say that so person harassed her or anything sexual, I know I don't want to even hear the man's explanation. I will take judgment. Eh? And my creator knows that when I speak like that, I am not somebody who will speak and not do. I'm not. I am that when I speak, it goes. If whatever period of time he wants to take, it's not my business. What comes out from this my mouth that I don't say much, it happens. Like that one. That one is my staff. You understand? So I used to beg people like, no, me cannot open my mouth. No, let us not. Because when it comes to war, I consider myself as a warlord. I consider myself as a war strategist lord. Let's not go there. And I'm not the person that used to agree. I don't believe in sorry. You understand? Like, especially when you have done it that once, you've been corrected. There's no sorry in my book. Oh. I take my head. Eye for an eye is an understatement. I take my eye with interest, rates, VAT, tax. So this is why I like to stay on my own, because I know myself. Like, I will go to the deep of the earth to get back to a person. So I avoid you. There are some situations. The only times I've left situations on this just made me remember a story now. Or somebody I wanted to go and I want to go deal with the girl fuck up. The girl do something to me. Hold my mind. Years ago, it was the same voice that stopped me. I've traveled from just to Benue already. And if you was to call somebody in Benue to handle it for me, that's not a problem. But I wanted this person to know that it's me and I'm coming for you. I'm like that. I am somebody that if I'm coming for you, I let you know. I'll prep you ahead. And God bless you. You call it a bluff. That's where I get to have my own small, ecstasy or what do you call it? And I have my orgasm, right? And so when that situation happened, I'm like, okay, I would believe this person because of this voice is telling me, okay, this is what actually happened. The possibility of this child getting this level of trauma is there. So I was doing all my personal inward research. Okay, this child is a Sagittarius, this, that. I know what I need to know to be able to table a personality on speculation perspective, right? Because I don't have all the full details. The only time I can have the full details when I go to the place, I can see the vision of what happened. That's my type of person. So when I go to a space, a lot of what happened will show to me. Clear, something, that's what I call it. Anyways, why am I saying all this plenty story? Because I just look the time now. Why I'm saying all of this is, I am just saying navigating yourself as an autistic person is not the same as the so-called normal person. You don't have the luxury to repress your emotions. You don't have the luxury to be like me now. I don't take jokes. I don't know jokes. Typically, some autistic people are like that. Some autistic people are not just some autistic people can even come out insensitive with the way they talk. They talk without filter, right? I am another type of autistic person. We all have a different neurological, tweaks here and there. I'm a very sensitive person. Every word you say, I am those people when they show these Nollywood, Hollywood movies that they see words in colors. That's how you know a psychotic actually. A psycho. Let's just put it that way. But a psychotic, so you know. Words come in colors. Words come in colors for me as well. The only difference is that the same attributes of serial killing and all that, all that borderline behavior, as the clinically will call it. I have all that, right? The only thing mine isn't activated is, I call it, I'm a crusader. It has to be activated for the right, appropriate reason, and those reason has to be in alignment with, quote unquote, let's say quote unquote, uprightness, right? So picture me as someone, when I do wrong, I will have to whip myself, like I will punish myself. Remember that King of Boys where this lady was always like beating her pepe? That side of personality, that's actually borderline personality as well. um and also autistic. um there's so many things I want to say. Okay, so all of this rambling I am doing is to say that, I'm not sure, is to say that being an autistic adult is not as the same as any other adult. You can live your life based on the definition of other people. You live your life based on your unique individual. This one is already normal understanding, normal knowledge that we are all unique prints, right? Now add the layer of you being autistic on top of that. You now see the plenty onion. Sorry, baby. You now see the plenty onion. Yes, I say sorry to things. Yes. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit tiny-ish embarrassed because I'm here doing all of the things I do normally. Sorry. And yeah, so you have to know what type of autistic person you are. Somebody said something which is true. This white guy, like on LinkedIn, by the way, like, autistic people talk in reverse. Absolutely true. I wrote this comment one time, and I'm like, Priscilla, is that the correct way to say it? I'm like, oh shit, yeah, okay. Wait a minute, it's not right. It's not, I had to correct myself. So, and you see, I'm also rambling and saying so many things in that, and that's how my brain is like my brain is opening like 100 tabs. Mind you, we have fast brains. 100 tabs at the same time, all connecting to just one information. So just one information. It can just be it is so. My brain is opening several hundred tabs to say, to give the definition, to check, to cross check, to under check, to side check, to upside down check whether it's correct. You see the things that my brain used to do. I'm sorry. The things my brain used to do. This is why I don't have all. Look, I'm not thinking about another human being. I'm thinking about one idea, that one, how is that flower turning like that? If the flower turns like that, the photosynthesis of that is what my brain is doing. Analyzing anything, analyzing able. They were like that. Anything that can be analyzed, my brain analyzes it. I enjoy it. That's why one of my weaknesses, part of my personality, is analysis. I over analyze. So sometimes one of the issues I used to have in the past, pretty much during my early 20s, was my brain refused to shut down when I want to sleep. Insomnia, right? But that's not just insomnia. I'm always like extra. Sleep, I will not sleep. I'm sleeping. My head is. You know that feeling? I don't know if you ever experienced that feeling where you're sleeping, everywhere is dark, no light, but your brain has light. It's like your brain just has its own light. It turns on, bang, and it always shines like fluorescent, and I can see literally every brain cell in my head. And I'm begging myself, please, I want to sleep. Can we sleep? Like, Meditation helped me with that, like big time. Like I am somebody that's why I got even started smoking weed to bring my highness is high, so I have to smoke to calm myself down. Valium 5, all the veli. Yes, there's a point I abused sleeping drugs, all kinds, because the brain is like nothing is to shut it down. And I remember when this lady talked about her son when he went for a scan, and they gave him an stage. He didn't do anything. They gave him about like 2-3 shots for his brain to not like, and he didn't even last long. He woke up. Fuck, I can just imagine the frustration of those nurses or doctors. And this is part of why I got irritated when the mother was so obsessed about, oh, I'm going to go and fix the brain. This hospital in the US. Let me know that. I felt like slapping. Like, first thing, the brain of an autistic person, there is no form